Welcome back. Well, our business slot is coming to you live from Cape Town today. That's where stakeholders have gathered for the mining Indaba. We don't have our reporter Rofihwa Madzena, but let's go to the business desk in terms of what the mining sector is bringing in the tax. We have Paul Adams, or rather, let's listen into a short interview that Rofihwa Madzena did earlier today at that mining Indaba.
We probably lost about 35 billion rands worth of export earnings. So even though mining did well, we could have done even better. And a third of that 35 billion extra export revenue, that's target versus actual rail performance, would have gone to Treasury, roughly a third of it. So it is a significant issue. We've been extensively engaging with Transnet on a per corridor basis and at a group CEO level. We even had a meeting last night with the group CEO and CEO of Transnet, and so lots of engagement taking place. Remember that a lot of the things that are affecting Transnet, some of them are systemic in nature. Some of them are critical from a security point of view. They've been massively affected by the security situation, and particularly copper theft.
And this is what is being said about the structural issues on our cargo railways.
Already we have a shortage of locomotives. So you take a resource which is scarce, damage it, it needs to come out of circulation for us to be able to fix. And we already have challenges with getting components and parts for our locos. So it just is a critical issue that we have to deal. So we've been working quite closely with government, and as you know, we've worked quite closely with the mining industry, especially on the coal corridor, for us to co-fund and co-man the operations. They do the night and we do the day over the last couple of months. And in fact, the numbers have gone down. However, it hasn't taken away the very occurrence of the incidences. So we're now working with government closely to have a government-sponsored intervention, which we really believe will have a significant impact and improve significantly the performance of security on the rail system.
All right, well, let's go to business anchor Rofihwa Madzena, who is at that mining Indaba. Rofihwa, the private sector has been pushing to get involved with Transnet. Has that process gotten any traction?
Very important question, Masakho, and it's something that's been discussed between all stakeholders at this year's mining Indaba in a chilly Cape Town, I might add. But yes, this is an initiative that was initiated by Transnet management last year, you'll remember, in that they were calling on private investment firms and companies to come and help Transnet with its vision to refurbish the ports and make them more efficient than they currently are. So Portia Derby, who's the chief executive of Transnet, highlighting that program is going very well, and there's a keen, sincere interest by various bodies to get involved, because at the end of the day it benefits them the most. The transportation of goods that is produced in South Africa, in and around South Africa, but also beyond our shores, is extremely crucial for our economic growth. But this is what she had to say when it came into that investment.
So really important that the partnerships and the expansion that we see as Transnet, so all of these partnerships that we've been putting on the table, they're not partnerships because we're wanting to exit, but rather they're partnerships to crowd in private sector activity, private money, and also their planning capability, but also to bring in the volumes as well as we go forward.
All right, and Rofihwa, what's been happening at the mining Indaba, that also, also correlates in terms of sorting out our issues in the railway agency?
That's right. So, Masakho, this is a long-standing issue that companies have brought to the fore to government for a number of years. In fact, one example, Kumba Iron Ore, for example, 2 years ago, lost about 2 billion rand in revenue because they couldn't transport the minerals that they had mined because the infrastructure issues run so deep. So there is the concession by the CEO of Transnet that there are issues with the infrastructure, and the maintenance of that infrastructure has been lackluster over the years, and this is something that they're going to be working on. And of course, that investment is going to be crucial. But she's called on government to invest more in terms of capital so that that maintenance can actually happen. So a lot of mining companies saying that we want to be using our national logistics avenues or infrastructure, but we can't. And so mining companies are having to rely more and more on trucks, Masakho, and you've seen what's that done to road infrastructure, those frustrating potholes that we see everywhere, partly as a result of the increased truck capacity on the roads that weren't built to carry that much weight.
And also, Rofihwa, this also affects our economy. I mean, the fact that we don't have a rail agency that we can rely on to take goods around means that we are also, that also has a disadvantage on economy and business.
No, absolutely right, Masakho, and that's just one issue. But we are seeing that the Ministry of Transport has taken on some initiatives in terms of repairing those issues. It would have been great to actually have Minister Fikile Mbalula here to ventilate some of these issues with us. But there are initiatives that are being taken, slow progress, but progress nonetheless. And it's encouraging to see that the private sector, Masakho, is actually willing to give capital. They say, here's the money, let us rebuild the infrastructure issues together. So that sense of togetherness, in that we all understand and a common want to grow the South African economy, is there between government and the private stakeholders. And this is what conferences of this nature are trying to do, build towards the economic growth we want to see. But another issue, Masakho, that's coming out quite significantly during this mining conference, and it's actually one of the themes, is ESG's economy, social and governance. And that goes for the environment, the communities that live around mines, how they are treated, and also energy transitions, just energy transition. Coal is always going to be a factor, well, for now in South Africa anyway. It's a huge provider of electricity, not only to individual households, but to many businesses as well. But there are conversations around renewable energy and really just getting South Africa onto alternative grids as well. Very interestingly, we spoke to one of the banks earlier on, and they've indicated that the banks actually have a lot of money for renewable energy projects. We're just waiting for South Africa's appetite on this to grow.
All right, Rofihwa Madzena, thank you. Let's leave it there for now. She is at the mining Indaba. Let's take you